I'm Jeroslyn Jovann with Black Enterprise, and this is our BlackMenXcel Spotlight Series. So, Javid, tell us who you are, what you do.
Of course, my name is Javid Lewis. I'm the director of social media at Ticketmaster. I'm actually the first person in the role, so I'm sort of been building as I go on a new adventure.
Is there any advice you received early in your career that still sticks with you today?
I think one of the best pieces of advice I've received is to always be nice to the doorman. And when I heard that, I took it both literally and figuratively, because I heard it from the CEO of the company I worked for at the time, a guy named Steve Stout. And one day we were walking in the building together, and he said to me, he's like, always be nice to the doorman. Those are the people who get you in the building. And I think that's an important lesson, beyond just being nice to the literal doorman, but make sure you're showing respect to the people who are helping you as you're on your way to your journey.
Mm-hmm. How important is mentorship?
I think mentorship is super important. I think it's something that it's not just a nice to have, it's something you're almost required to do as you excel and you start to grow in your career. Without mentorship, many of us wouldn't be where we are today.
Who has been a key mentor for you and why?
There's been so many along the way. One of the things I like to say is some of my friends are my mentors. I don't like to take the traditional definition of mentorship when I'm just saying, a mentor is someone who's older and they're more established and they've helped me. I think sometimes the people next to you can be great mentors. So I sort of look at it as a circle of trust, where I'm leaning on people who may be my age. They could be younger than me, but they have different talents and gifts that I think I can learn from.
Tell us about your leadership style.
My leadership style is to treat people the way I'd like to be treated. I've gone through many stops along the way in my career. And one of the things I realized, and I would always say to myself as I was going along, is I would never want someone to. And as I'm now in positions where I'm able to manage and help grow teams, I make sure that those things that really affected me, I don't pass that on by doing that to other people.
What do you think is the biggest challenge Black men today face in your industry?
Perception. I think perception is the biggest challenge. So each time a new person gets an opportunity, it's very important to deliver. When I look around the room that we have assembled this week, and I see all these faces and everyone dressed in suits, I think it's a great example. Like, that's what we need to see more of. Obviously, we know that's not the perception, right? So when we get these opportunities, sometimes before we even get in the room, there's a perception of how we're gonna be, how responsible we'll be in the role, how effectively we've been able to do our jobs. So it's important to know that coming in and then figure out strategies to overcome that.
Tell us about your wins.
My wins is just being able to be authentically myself. I've been fortunate enough to be able to get in the position I'm in by being myself and not having to do anything I thought went against my morals or my ethics. I've been able to be creative in my role, so I love what I do. I work in social media. People would tell me, you're always on your phone. And now I have a job where I get paid to be on my phone, so it's great, and I actually go to my college, Rutgers University, at least once a semester to talk to students. And one of the things I always tell them is, and it sounds cliche, but if you can do something you really love, if you can do something you're passionate about and monetize that, that's the ultimate goal, right? Because then you're getting up in the morning and you're not like, oh, I gotta go to work today. You're actually enjoying what you're doing, and it becomes easy at that point.
How do you define success?
That's a great question. I would say there's so many successful people here, so I'm like, as I think of my definition of success, it's changed in the past 24 hours. But I would say I define success as, success is when you've reached a point that you're happy with where you are and you're fulfilled. I think obviously work and jobs and all those things have a lot to do with it, but we can't discount the importance of family and health and those sort of intangibles. So as I think about success, it's when you have a couple of those boxes checked. You're great in your career, you're doing well, but you're also healthy, you're taking care of yourself, and you also have a great relationship with your family and the people that matter.
What makes you a Black man who excels?
It's an honor to be called that. I think what makes me a Black man who excels is I'm gonna keep trying. I'm going to keep trying, and I'm always going to make sure that as I make a way, I'm going to pay it forward and make room for others.